Say, look, hey, free Masana for your honor. Left on box and them chains. Rick was my dog, man. Why that bullet had got lodged in his brain? My mind is insane. A memory card is locked in the game. These optical frames spot ops and leave a block full of pain. Did the impossible, cross the tightrope while dodging the rain. I put extensions in my Glock, no, I am not finna aim. Swear I got robbed and joined the army, so my spot could remain. One lost his life in North Carolina, hope he not as I sang. Drinking sorrow away on my alky still. For the soldiers we lost on the battlefield. Why am I hurting myself as I burby on belching out death when I'd rather heal? And most of these rappers ain't that for real. They mentioning that shit, they got for real. Talking fly when we push that in vacuum seal. Some of my homies not pushing up that deal. Now it's Ninja putting music to dream hours. We been up grinding up teen hours. They ain't believing that team power, then we had a run of 14,000. I thank you all for supporting us. This right here for the voice of the warrior. Victory is a beautiful woman. We went through the rain while in love with Victoria.
Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether wood in a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain. Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether wood in a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain.
Hard to hop off of the plane, just to get back in the trenches. My sister, my brother was slain, and I haven't seen any mentions. For social
Vote with your feet.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I am super tiny on here. Let me fix that.
Un poquito. Yeah, I'm seeing it on the screen now.
Very weird.
You're
it's
like
I fixed it before and then it unfixed it even worse. All right. Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire. I am the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt, and I've got a perspective on things.
You know what the best part of this intro is? I don't have to say Dusty, but I'll do it anyways. I am the strong one. Welcome to the greatest podcast you have ever seen in your entire life. Am I being hyperbolic? Who knows? But it's going to get crazy today. Make sure you tell everybody about what's about to happen. But I am the strong one, the Iron King, the Ebony Rampart, the Master of Disaster, the King of Sting, the People's Champ, the People's Choice, and the one you love. And I've got a perspective on things as well. I got to add one more every time, bro. You know what I mean?
In the future, 2 years from now, it's like the first half hour is you just laying out all your
the nicknames. No, I'm gonna Tommaso Ciampa it eventually, and I'll be like, I have a perspective on things. I'm not even gonna introduce myself. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. Make sure you check us out at twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. That's twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. We are also on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube Live as well. So you gotta be watching this. You gotta be seeing the madness that's about to happen. OSHA may be quiet, but we're not going to be quiet today, and I'm very excited about this show today. Very excited to get it going on with the Ebony Rampart, the Ebony Rampart meeting up with the Ivory Tower, and just making sweet, beautiful music.
Sweet empires.
In Ivory. Yeah, sweet empires, man. But I got to tell you, what's funny is you're going to sense a pattern, and let me help you out with this. Anytime something bad happens to the globalists, anytime something bad happens to the mainstream, anything bad that happens to the powers that be, I should say, the information is always quietly leaked. And even more so, you know, I'm not going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse on this, but you're not going to have a resolution on Kyle Rittenhouse until late Friday night. That's my prediction. You won't hear, they will not make a decision until late Friday night. One, for the main reason is because nobody cares after 5 o'clock on Friday. That is a universal fact. When they were dropping all the actual information about Rona, it was always Friday at like 6 o'clock at night when nobody was paying attention. But the strong one was he was waiting there to pounce on that information. Anytime there's a mass shooting that goes against the narrative, that happens to be a black guy shooting somebody, they always drop it on Friday night. Anytime that the left's numbers look horrible, like jobs reports, they always drop them late Friday night. So what's happening, especially with Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't know if you saw the latest developments, but the prosecution withheld evidence. Did you see that?
I am surprised.
Yeah, the FBI footage was literally withheld. So the reason why they're not doing
the defense had no
right now
idea that even existed until
defense didn't know what was happening, and they had to show it to the jury, because jury hasn't seen this before. The prosecution just magically was like, oh well, we sent it, and which isn't surprising, because if you watch any modicum of true crime, prosecution does this all the time. And I'm not going to label every prosecution as bad, but you would be surprised how many times they do not give up expulsory evidence.
Exculpatory?
They don't give it up. Exculpatory, that's the word. I can't talk. Plausible foolishness. You're the grammar teacher here, okay? Bro, I'm just writing content. Your job is to clean it up.
I'm just trying to help you out. That's it. I'm just coming alongside
exculpatory
you.
Evidence.
Just coming alongside.
But no, I mean, but think about it. Every time this happens, and people are like, oh, are they really battling both and forth? No, they still have evidence they haven't even seen yet, because prosecution didn't bring it up and kind of hid it from the defense.
Yeah, which is illegal.
And you can't do that. Yeah. Well, prosecution did a lot of things in this case that aren't legal. So it is hilarious.
They went so far to question Kyle's character, to bring his character into question because he refused to speak to the cops who were arresting him. You mean exercising your Miranda rights? These people are scumbags.
That's strange.
We talked about this yesterday.
You have the right to remain.
Yeah. We
you have the
Dusty and I talked about this yesterday and before. There's
gosh, why did you say his name?
Why did
you say his name? This podcast was going so smooth until you said Dusty.
Well, you already said it, so.
Okay, all right, I'll let it go. Sustained.
Objection.
Sustained.
But we said it. I mean, these people are scum, and this is about this for the prosecution. This is about, or I firmly believe that they're. I mean, look how badly they're getting torn up. You know how bad they look, and yet they continue to do these things, and it's because they're following orders.
Yes.
If they were left to their own devices and they looked as bad, they'd be changing tactics.
100%.
But they're not, because they're not worried about their jobs at all.
Well, the prosecutors, for a DA that clearly doesn't understand the law. So my thing is not even the prosecutors. I mean, you listen, there are a lot of useful idiots out there. I mean, watch any mainstream media. There's a bunch of useful idiots.
They know what they're doing.
Well, they do, but they're useful idiots. And they're like, I don't care. Because, listen, here's the thing. How does Brian Stelter still have a show?
He doesn't even break seems to me people. Like a measure of innocence.
No. I see where you're going with that, but I disagree. I think useful idiots care a lot about getting money or status or power. and they're okay with being, hoed out to make that happen. So
See,
like
to me,
Don
okay,
Lemon,
okay, that's where you're coming from. To me,
but
a useful idiot is a true believer who doesn't know that they're fighting for the wrong side. Like the person who thinks that
I
they're
see
for
that.
freedom and is fighting for to murder babies.
It's true.
Well, what
And
about
I
they're
agree.
completely fighting against the freedom of the child to live.
Here's my thing: could it be both?
Absolutely.
So so I think we're both right, right? I think that
And
this
that's why
prosecution doesn't give a.
the Ebony Vampire and the Ivory Tower work so well together.
But anyways, sorry.
I'm down with the swirl.
It's jungle. Anyway, so what I was gonna say is here's the thing. So obviously this is a self-defense case. Obviously they're playing it out because here's the thing. They're doing slimy tactics because at the end of the day they don't want to piss off BLM for some reason. I don't know if they know this, but BLM doesn't exist anymore. They have mansions in LA now. They don't care. Don't care.
Well, they're
trying to play.
Now their second in commands are trying to get get their payday. So
Yeah,
there's still the guy
yeah, but
out there who's like, we're gonna riot, blah blah blah.
but it's lost its luster.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
What is the pool like?
Well, yeah, it's
70% of people.
It's not an
are
election year.
unfavorable to Black Lives Matter now.
It's not an election year, buddy.
Yeah, so
Just wait till next year.
They don't care, but yeah, hold this off to next year. But that's one thing I want you to observe. The other thing too is I'm excited to see how much money Kyle Rittenhouse is going to make from all this, especially like MAGA hat wearing boy is probably looking at this like, bro, this kid's going to make a killing. Off of
Nick
this
Sandman.
From the libel.
He already reached out to him and
Nicholas
said,
Sandman.
"I'm here for you." So
Yep, because it's going to go down. I'm excited. But here's the other thing I want you to notice before I shift to Shardy OSHA. Okay. Shardy's okay, right? That's still that's like good word. Try to keep it within the bounds here. I want you to notice how quickly. Two observations. I want you to watch how quickly the media shifts to the Ahmaud Arbery case right after this is done. They're going to shift so fast from this.
Yeah, because that's
It's
happening
insane.
too,
They'll
right?
never talk about. Yeah, that's happening right now. So they're going to shift to that as quickly as humanly possible, because they really, really, really need you to pay attention to these racist guys.
Yeah.
Okay, now
They
Ahmaud
need you
Arbery,
to believe that racism is alive and well in America.
Yes. Even though this is clearly not a racist case with Kyle Rittenhouse, I posted on Facebook. I was like, if you're making this about race, you're such a muppet. You're such a muppet. This has nothing to do with race at all. It's a white guy defending himself against 3 other white guys. So to make this about race is just laughable and kind of gross. But another story for another time. But they're going to shift so quickly to Ahmaud Arbery. They're going to hope to God you forget that they just slandered this guy, called him a white supremacist. But here's the beautiful thing. He can sue the president because Biden called him a white supremacist. Like, dude, this is going to be epic. The amount of money this boy's going to make. He's going to be set for life.
So.
This is like hitting the lottery. So very excited about that. That's observation number 1. Watch how quickly they shift to Ahmaud Arbery. Now, that's a totally different case. Ahmaud Arbery is doing weird stuff, but definitely didn't deserve to get killed. That was a bad. It's bad. There's no way of making this nice. That's a clear case of you should have just called the cops and waited, or maybe follow him, but don't shoot him. That was just bad. But anyways,
let me take a second to shout out to Dufseth Carey, who just shared the show on Facebook. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.tv.
We're
everywhere you want to be.
Everywhere.
Thank you for sharing. That is probably the biggest help that you can do for the show, aside from a straight up donation. But that really helps us get the word out. So if you like what you're hearing, if you want to support the show, there's a few ways you can do it. First, notice the tracker up top. trying to raise $150 to keep some of the logistical side of things operating behind the scenes. Also, and you can do that by subscribing or on Twitch, or you can donate in links below in the About section on Twitch or in the liner notes on Facebook and YouTube. Secondly, sharing is huge. And thirdly, we are also an audio-only podcast, so you can write a review and give us those coveted 5 stars on the iTunes on the iTunes app, on the podcast app.
But the question is, can we get 6 stars?
They don't have 6 stars. This is not a Dave Meltzer rating system, unfortunately.
we can't bust the paradigm. We can't do that.
Unfortunately not. We cannot speak so good that they give us 6 stars.
100%, man. I got you. All I'm trying to do is just bust the paradigm a little bit, But so, Matt, watch how quickly they shift to Ahmaud Arbery. They're going to paint the entire country racist because 3 hillbillies decided to follow a black guy. Okay, gotcha. That's not indicative of, that's allegorical, not our whole deal. But it is what it is. So here's the other thing that I want you to watch magically is we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, and another little news nugget dropped down. So shout out to the late, what's his name? Oh gosh, he was the guy that did News Nugget all the time. News Nugget. It was the guy. That's gonna drive me insane that I don't know that
Herman
off
Cain.
the top of my head, but Herman Cain, my boy Herman Cain. News Nugget. Mr. Matt, did you see that OSHA, who had like 300-page write-up on the mandates for the vaccine, won't enforce it?
What?
Yeah, weird. Like, they won't enforce it.
No, that can't be true.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Right here on Fox Business, OSHA suspends implementation of Biden's COVID vaccine mandate until further court order.
Huh. Interesting. Now, for everybody that's worried about the mandate, now clearly that's something to worry about, right? You like CEOs, and I'm not dissing CEOs, okay? I'm not. Evidence. It's on one of the main. It's on one of the big six. But what's funny is nobody else is talking about it on the other mainstream media pages. The local entities of them are local ABC is talking about it, local CBS is talking about it, local NBC is talking about it, but not actual NBC. Fox will talk about it on Fox Business. That's another story for another time. Yeah. But here's the thing I want you to understand. I'm not going to sit here and romanticize America in the sense that we're ever going to get back to, I mean, in my opinion, the golden times for us were like the 80s. We were just kicking butt. Reagan's letting the economy kick some butt. We're making money. We recovered from the Jimmy Carter insanity where inflation skyrocketed. We ran out of gas, and all of our foreign enemies didn't take us seriously. That sounds really weird. Sounds like what's happening now. But that's another story for another time. There was an interesting shift that was happening in America. You know what I mean? This idea that America's a super racist place gets blown up immediately because the number one star of the 80s was Michael Jackson. Who else was idolized in the 80s? Mr. T. There's this guy named Michael Jordan who came on the scene. I don't know if, he's the whitest white guy I've ever seen. Mike Tyson. A lot of these guys started blowing up in pop culture. And the tectonic plates were shifting. People were making money. That's where the Donald Trumps of the world exploded, if that makes sense. Oh, wait, I said his name. Sorry, did we just get banned? I dared to say the orange man's name. Did I say that
again?
Sorry. Mark Zuckerberg, forgive me for I have sinned and said the orange man name because I'm wearing an orange shirt. But anyways, like I was saying before, I think that,
you're hereby excommunicated from the metaverse.
The metaverse. Quit trying to make meta a thing.
Well, it is a thing.
Using those memes.
It is a thing. And then to put it on the nose like that is so lame. To be honest with you, it's super
So
lame.
But
so like in an attempt to like get in ahead on the metaverse, which is coming, the digital world is becoming more and more a part of our lives. They end up looking really lame, calling their company Meta. Ugh.
Meta.
It's like when a band writes a song and the song itself claims that it's an anthem for something. It's like, no, you can't do that. Either people make it an anthem, your listeners make it an anthem, or it's not an anthem. You don't just claim that your song is an anthem, you douchebags.
But you're gonna hear me roar.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway, no. So, so the 80s were pretty kick butt, so on and so forth. But I really feel like, I'm not going to romanticize America. I don't think that America is going to last forever. I think that every empire fades. Rome split in half. Then barbarians whooped the west side. I think what was left, like the Rome and Turkey kind of lasted for a little bit. What's up? Did I say it wrong?
Ian goes, did I just hear a seal? With your
that crappy Katy Perry song that was an anthem.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear me root. Oh my gosh, such trash. I'm sorry. It bothers me that she beat Michael Jackson in like #1 hits. It bothers me. Like it really irks me that talentless jackal literally beat Michael Jackson. Now I get it. Everybody thinks he's a pedophile. Whatever. I am one of the people that are still holding on faith that didn't happen. But call me crazy. It is what it is.
That's what happens when you give into the occult, You get #1 singles.
That is true. Now, back to what we were saying. So,
do you
long story short,
believe in magic? I do, so give me #1s. Anyway.
Well, that's after the casting couch and sacrificing something dear to you in blood, but that's another story for another time. But did I say that loud? Too soon? Sorry. OSHA magically in the quiet of the night, as you're pissed off about Kyle Rittenhouse and you're thinking they're already preparing you for Ahmaud Arbery, okay? To tell every white person in America they're racist because of these guys, okay? It's going to happen. Get ready. OSHA literally quietly announces, hey, yeah, that mandate that we were going to enforce for big businesses over 100 employees, we're not going to do that anymore. Now, they said it really quiet because, one, it makes Emperor Biden look bad that he failed again. Does that make sense? It makes him look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Which is funny because didn't he just sign the infrastructure bill?
Yes.
And nobody cared.
We should. But here's the thing, positively and negatively, we don't care because we went out today in Florida and our gas was $3.35. I'm used to filling up my entire tank, but my wife didn't. She only filled up half the tank today, which is interesting. And I told her, I was like, I don't really blame you because the gas is $3.35. So as much as you're like, oh, I just signed an infrastructure bill, which is going to inflate the dollar more. I can't make it through the week unless I fill up my tank.
Well, here's the thing. Evangelicals right now are telling me that it's sinful for me to say this, but let's go, Brandon. Anyways, my thing is this. I think
who's saying that?
Big Eva is all over the let's go, Brandon, because it's a euphemism for telling him to F off. So it's sinful.
So that's what you're concerned about. That's what you're concerned about.
But we're supposed
There's
to
respect There's a kid on trial for him defending himself against a pedophile and 2 other criminals involved in a riot. And 2 of the jurors are worried for their lives and so considering not serving justice here. And you're concerned about let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
How about you cram it with walnuts, you ugly piece of crap?
But listen, Gospel Coalition called him a white supremacist when this happened. Gospel Coalition. Anyways,
so the
great job, David Platt. But anyways, my thing is this.
So wait a second. The Gospel Coalition said he was a white supremacist. Why?
Yes. Well, because the media said he was a white supremacist. Until they
Okay.
realized, oh wait, he didn't shoot any black people. He shot white people and shot up pedophile. I love the shout out, by the way, the show
And
yesterday.
so then once that information came out, they recanted it, right?
Well, no, they're more concerned about you saying "Let's go, Brandon" because that's sinful.
Okay, cool. So
Because
BLM burning down a city, Aoki Day.
yeah, because as a follower of Christ, you can't criticize the governing authorities because of Romans 13, which is interesting because it's not about criticism; it's about obeying the governing authorities, which is interesting because Paul didn't obey the governing authorities. That's why he got. But anyways,
because I remember the governing authorities telling him not to preach the gospel.
I remember the governing authorities telling the Hebrew women to throw babies in the water, and they refused that. I remember John the Baptist attacking the governing authorities by literally exposing the fact that Herod was banging his brother's wife. He got for that as well. But again, criticizing, you can't criticize because that violates Romans 13, even though Romans 13 is about obeying governing authorities. But I digress. But anyways, weird. And definitely don't look up the prophets of old that were getting on Jezebel and all the horrible kings of First Kings and First Chronicles.
So then what is your interpretation of Romans 13 then?
It's obey the governing authorities. I don't go out and speed. I don't go out and I respect what's going on. But the thing that people are missing is what's the governing authority of the United States of America? What is it? And they come at this. The Big Eva's coming after this right now. And I try to tell people this. The governing authority of the United States of America is the Constitution of the United States. That's the governing authority.
It's the supreme law of the land.
It's what God gave us. God gave us the Constitution here in the United States of America. Now, here's the thing, and you can, this is another show for another time, but the lesser magistrate argument is, if the lesser magistrate's defying that law, well, guess what? Or defying what God's clearly given up, you're supposed to reject that. But what's funny is the same guys that are mad about Let's Go Brandon shut down their churches. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it loud and clear.
Yeah. Let me repeat that song. The Big Eva pastors, the David Platts, the John Pipers of the world that are really mad that you're saying Let's Go Brandon shut down their churches during the pandemic. Andy Stanley's more mad that you're saying Let's Go Brandon than the fact that he shut down his church way longer than he was supposed to, or ever, because we're actually not supposed to stop meeting. But that's another story for another time. But who do you fear, man or God? Clearly, they fear man more. But anyways, back to OSHA.
I'd like to say something to them though.
Say it to them.
All right, I'd like to say, let's go, Brandon.
I will not condemn you for saying Let's Go Brandon. I will not cheer you on for saying Let's Go Brandon. I will just say Let's Go Brandon. Anyway, so anyways, back to OSHA. Here's what's funny. I tried to get my main man Matt to name this Vote With Your Feet, but he is 51%. He is the ruling king. He sits on the throne. I'm just the touring king. Okay,
We're trying to attract eyes, and eyes don't seem to catch on to clever titles. They want
to
be fed the information.
Are we too clever?
We're too clever for YouTube titles.
That's true.
That's
true. Now, here's the thing.
I don't know how much more clever. It seems like a really low bar for cleverness, but
yes. Now, you might be asking yourself, what stopped OSHA from enforcing the Biden mandate? Could it be the fact that Biden's polling at 41% approval right now, which means 59% of America does not approve of the guy? Could it be that? Maybe. Could be the fact that it's super unconstitutional. You can't do that anyways.
Oh man,
But
that's funny.
remember, we're supposed to obey the governing authorities, that Constitution of the United States, but
Well, and here's the real deal.
yeah.
Here's the real deal. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, but who's the governing authority? Because I was taught that this is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Oh.
So it sounds like
Strange.
we, the people, are the governing authority. And so I can do what I want.
But Romans 13, the authority that God's given us, even though he gave us the Constitution that literally states that. But, what I digress, whatever, that is crazy. Anyways, because everybody wants a daddy.
And frankly, I remember God himself warning the people of Israel, you don't want a king.
1 Samuel 10 through 12.
Like,
Just,
I'm all
reading
you
it right
need.
now.
I'm all you need. You really don't want this. Are you sure you want this?
What's funny is, okay, when Samuel's
let him have it.
When Samuel's giving up power as the judge of Israel, he warns these people like 4 different times the same way. And as they're passing the throne to Saul, because God's like, okay, let them have what they want. The people lament and they're like, yeah, this probably isn't a good idea getting a king, is it? But then they still do it.
Yep.
It's like the thing about history, when we talked about this a couple weeks ago, it's like the thing I know about history is no one ever learns from history.
Yeah.
And you got big Eva softies that jumped on the BLM bandwagon. They're jumping on they're on the Vax Me Daddy train right now. They're really mad at you.
Govern me harder, Daddy.
Govern me harder. They fear man way more than they fear God, because that's why they're worried about let's go Brandon. They're literally showing their card, like who they worship. They worship man, and they don't worship God. But that's another story for another time. Now, OSHA.
We should start a letter writing campaign to these churches, and just have like 10 people, because that's basically our reach. But send them letters that just say "Let's go, Brandon."
Let's go. No, because then you're being insensitive and lesser brothers and blah blah blah. We have to be sensitive. And anyway,
no, I'm cool with this. Let's do it.
I know. Now, back to OSHA. You know why OSHA backed off? It wasn't because of Biden, because Biden hasn't changed his mind. He doesn't really know what's going on. They didn't back off because his approval ratings are complete dog trash, which they are. Kamala Harris's approval ratings 28% now, 28%, which is not shocking at all.
That's just abysmal.
She couldn't get a delegate in the Democratic caucus or the Democratic.
I mean, it's not surprising.
No, not at all.
It's just
not at all. But of course,
abysmal.
It's because it's sexism and racism, even though she cackles at everything and has accomplished nothing and actually made us look worse. That's another story for another time. Now, could it be Constitution? Nah, they don't care about the Constitution. The reality of why they switched was because of guys like Ron DeSantis, who literally said, you know what's funny? I don't see constitutionally where I have to have OSHA in my state. The state of Oklahoma. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't constitutionally have to have OSHA in my state, because that's just a federal bureaucracy that we just made up that's not in the Constitution. State of Texas, they were like, you know what? I don't think that we have to have OSHA in our state, because it's not a constitutional mandate. We don't have to have this in the Constitution. And wouldn't you know it, that 25 states jumped on board. All of them basically said, hey, you try to pull this crap, and we'll just stop using OSHA. We'll just stop using you because we don't really need you. We don't need you to regulate us. We don't need you to show what's going on. And nobody talks about that. Now, some of the other, those less reliable media sources were talking about those, things like Gateway Pundit, Blaze. I think Reuters actually talked about it a little bit. I saw that in Reuters, which was funny to me. But what's interesting about that is once OSHA got caught wind that like half of the country was going to be like, no, we're never going to use you again. We're good. Magically, they backed off.
It says right here in this article, The Department of Labor, which oversees OSHA, told Fox News Wednesday the agency has suspended the implementation and enforcement of the mandate while it remains tied up in court because the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit granted a motion to stay OSHA's COVID-19 vaccination and testing emergency temporary standard and quote, ordered that OSHA take no steps to implement or enforce the ETS until further court order.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying that it's just because, it's tied up in court.
Interesting, because 2 days ago, Daddy DeSantis said, we're not going to use you. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out, because here's the thing that's going to be very interesting.
And my thing is really, since when has a government agency ever given a crap about what a court order says?
They don't care.
Yeah, they'll act like they're stopping.
But what was
who's going into the Department of Labor and making sure you're not working on that COVID-19 thing, right? You're not working on that vaccine mandate, right? No, buddy, I'm not working on that. Ain't nobody doing that. Of course they would continue to progress so that as soon as they win the court order, they can just implement it immediately. But let's not be naive fools. All right,
well,
I know this is plausible foolishness, but come on.
But think about when the court challenged this whole thing. What was Biden's reflex? Do it anyways. You remember that? Biden literally told them, just do it anyways. Just do it. Even though the court told you not to do it, just do it anyways.
Yeah.
So they don't care about the court.
I'm the king.
They don't care about courts. You know what they do care about? Gee golly, if 25 states leave our organization, our budget gets slashed in half. We're going to have to fire Bureaucracy Bob and Bureaucracy Bill that don't do anything anyways for OSHA, and that sucks. Because we all know, listen, we all know government institutes never dissolve programs. Let me repeat that. They never dissolve a program. No. Think about this.
We still have libraries. We still have libraries.
Well, of course.
All the information in the entire world is right here.
It's free.
It's right here. And we still have libraries. I mean,
but hey, listen,
I'm not going to lie. My kids use the library and they love it.
True.
But we don't need them.
Well, here's the other thing. Think about this. All the federal funding that goes to universities, you can learn everything you want to know from a university on your cell phone now.
Yeah. Well, I've said this a million times on this show. Harvard is sitting on so much, these. Okay, so first of all, the government is giving them all kinds of money, all kinds of grant money for research or whatever, influencing the directions of science. But science is this sacred institution.
It's sacred.
And then on top of that, yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, it's they get the federal government secures any and every loan that students take out.
Yep.
So it's just a near endless source of money for these universities, and they continue to raise their rates, right? So they're sitting on tons of money. Harvard is sitting on so much money, and this was like 6 or 7 years ago that I heard this stat, so it's probably even more now. They're sitting on so much money that they could open a Harvard of equal size and equal, just equal in every sense of the word, in every state, and operated for 10 years, tuition free.
But hey, we need the government.
Madness.
We need more government.
Yeah.
We need more. Govern me, Daddy. Govern me hard.
Yep.
But what's funny is this. There is going to be, I heard a very insightful commentary from Mr. Doug Wilson, who I'm starting to fall in love with a little too much, from Canon Press. He's the author of numerous books and the inventor of No Quarter November, which I fully have been participating in this month and enjoying it. I enjoy not having to um, make my comments gentle. I've enjoyed that. I might just run this through the whole year. I don't know. It might just keep going. It might be No Quarter 2022, but it is what it is. But
The gentling.
he was talking about it. He's like, he loves how God destroys idols. Okay. What does God do in most of the Old Testament? He just shakes and destroys idols over and over and over again.
My
right?
favorite.
Like,
what's your favorite idol destruction story?
Man, for the Bible?
Yeah.
When the Philistines capture the Ark of the Covenant at the end of Judges, and they take the Ark of the Covenant, put it in by I forget what their god
Dagon.
was, but
Dagon.
And the next morning it's smashed or it falls to the ground.
Yeah, first it falls to the ground, as if
And
it's as if it's bowing to the Ark.
Bowing to, yeah.
And then the
next day,
yeah, I was gonna say that's my favorite one too.
Yeah, and then the next one was when the next day the the arms are smashed, the legs are smashed, like everything is smashed from this idol, and they didn't know how it happened, and they're like, we have to get rid of the Ark, and they literally give the Ark back to the Israelites, and it like every city it was in on the way back like just got wrecked bad, So I love that stuff. It fires me up.
Yep.
What's your favorite?
I was gonna say the exact same story. We are of like mind.
It's classic. It's classic. I mean, the other one that I love is Gideon. Like when Gideon has to destroy the groves, the Baal groves, he has to destroy all of those before he starts. And it just made me think of like Bohemian Grove, and then like EDC. I don't know if you saw my my meme that I made about Orlando EDC. And truth be told, I have a lot of people that I like work out with and stuff that were there. And I'm just sitting there like, do you not notice the giant owl at the center of the stage, which is like this is a symbol that's used by all the secret societies. It's symbolization of the all-seeing eye, Lucifer. It's just hilarious to me that nobody sees this, but it is the owl god that they worship at Bohemian Grove, that all of your political leaders go to every single year, that Alex Jones exposed. But he's crazy, doesn't know what he's talking about, but predicted it again. But anyways, the idol Doug Swills was talking about idol worship and how things are just getting smashed in America. Like a lot of our idols are getting smashed. And one of the idols he talked about education, like K through 12 education was such an idol in this country. It was like the thing we were so proud of and blah, blah, blah. And the pandemic just smashed that to the ground, where it's like, I think like 30% of kids are getting like pulled out of public school. That affects their bottom line, that many people not being in there. And then you got California trying to mandate
public education. Well, there's no, whether or not your kids are in public school, they still take your tax money.
No, yeah,
threat of force.
True. That's true. Yeah, that's true. But it exposed how messed up that idol was, 100%. And nobody talked about.
Yeah.
Like he even said our military, and I have a hard time ever talking smack about our military. I never want to do it because I respect what our guys do, but it kind of exposed that too, that our generals aren't about saving our country. Our generals are about putting up PSAs about this chick that was adopted by two gay couples, and while Russia is over there. Oh, sorry, who hit us up? Harry Beast.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Rube Empire, citizen.
You're locked in now, citizen. Welcome to our dojo. But anyways, like, and he goes through a lot of different things. The other one was just the one I noticed is just the big mega churches. They're getting smashed by this, man, because they played the government game, and people were like, "Screw this, I'm out." Like, what's funny is this. I'll tell a couple of quick stories. Like, I'm glad we found. I found, the church that we're at now before the pandemic, and I was already like, dude, I'm kind of over big mega seeker sensitive church. And I can't tell you how many people are like running from that. And it's funny because like my brother-in-law is going to a Presbyterian church, and I was like, that is so far removed from what they grew up with. And I was like hugging him up. I'm like, yes, I love that you're going to a Presbyterian church. It fires me. As a Baptist, it warms my heart. I wish you wouldn't dip babies, but I appreciate what you're doing over there. You know what I mean? You know, go into a smaller church that just does the Bible right, you know, that does the word correctly. You know, our tiny little Baptist church that just got its chairs in today. I saw them I was pumped up. I saw them in the lobby. I was jacked up. They're not up yet, but they're up against the wall. But I'm pumped up for our church, and I feel like there's a lot of growth happening in our church from people coming from all these like seeker sensitive bullcrap mega church, whatever, these satellite churches, which is the most laughable thing to me ever. When you have like the main campus and then there's like satellites of the same church, it's like, what are you doing? You're worshiping the one guy out in Claremont. Like, come on, man. Anyways, real life Orlando. But anyways, like my thing is, did I say that out loud? Sorry. Sorry, no quarter November. Sorry, it just comes out. But you know, like we're all the things that God is clearly like, this is stupid, it's getting smashed. And I love watching it get smashed. I love watching it destroyed. I'm enjoying that. And one of the other things too is government entities. Like,
yeah. Well, that's my thing.
You would think. Go ahead.
Well, like, so you're mentioning about what all these states said that they could do.
Yeah.
And sure, OSHA's not going to do this, but the truth is, we still don't need them. Nope. So let's cancel them all. Get them the hell out. Yep. Department of Education, bye-bye. Department of Energy, bye-bye. EPA, cram it with walnuts. You know, and OSHA, don't need you. Get gone. Nope. You know, why are we using that as a threat? Who cares about threatening them? I don't care about that. Let's actually get rid of them. Because what you said is true. It's true. So if it's true, which it is, let's actually act on it. Let's finish the job that we started with our mouths.
Here's the thing. There's still going to be, but the thing is too, sometimes like you got to kill a hostage to make sure people know that you're really a terrorist. You know what I mean? And to take you serious, you know?
Yeah.
You've heard that one before, right? Sometimes you got to kill a hostage to let people know that you're serious.
Yes.
Oh man, that's fun. Sorry. That's the old salesman days. Still in it, but you have to check these people, and we haven't been able to check the federal government in a long time. And again, that's another idol, is the federal government. We have given so much power to the federal government. The Congress doesn't even do what it's intended to do anymore, which is actually pass law, and like they're the ones that declare war, not our president.
Everything
they pass the buck.
Yeah, they write these giant bills. And that enable these alphabet agencies to then write laws.
Yep, it's crazy, but you know what? This is another idol that's getting smashed. It's really simple. You try to do some big bloated bureaucracy. You've got a bunch of states that don't even believe the election was real.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't believe the election was real. Then you're going to try to shove down some vaccine mandates, which don't work, to states where they didn't do anything about the vaccine, didn't do anything about Rona, and we have the lowest infection rate. We have literally half the infection rate that California does. They have like 4 times the death. You know what I mean? Like, I think even the Florida ticker, no one dies from COVID anymore in Florida. Like, it doesn't happen anymore, you know? People don't realize that. But they're still they really want to jab you. They really want to get your 5-year-old kid jabbed. They want to do all they can to do this. And they can't constitutionally do it. They don't care about that. But the moment you start voting with your feet, the moment you say, screw it, I'm out, they'll start backing down. And New York and California haven't figured this out yet. But the moment they start seeing like all these high-dollar people bouncing out of your state, and when your revenues start dipping real fast because you realize there's not that many people in your state anymore, minds are going to change real fast. You know what I mean? Now, unfortunately, California and New Yorkers are stupid. They will continue the madness. They'll continue voting for the stupidity, and then they'll like it. They want to be governed daddy. But you got to see this. It is amazing how much power Texas and Florida has. And I appreciate that. You know, the little hillbilly little states that everybody craps on in every major motion picture and blah, 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 has the power to say, you know what? We don't like the deal. We'll walk. And magically people negotiate real fast. It's the art of the deal. Oh, wait, did I just say that? Crap. Did I just mention him again? I'm so sorry.
Son of a gun.
Sorry. Part of the art of the deal is walking away from the deal. We can constitutionally walk from the federal government. Sorry, we can do it. We don't have to do what the federal government tells us. We're the United States of America, aka guess what usurps the entire federal process? It's the state power. And I think people are waking up to how important your governor is, how important your mayor is. And God just smashed the idol of the federal government. I hope he continues to smash those idols.
But at the same time, let's not make idols of governors and mayors.
100%.
You know, don't
100%.
let your state become an idol that you worship to, and then it, you know, controls you. I mean, you know
100%.
Where I'm headed. You've seen where my mind is going, and frankly, I'm loving it. You know, no government at all. So
You crazy, but it's all good.
I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm not 100% there yet. I'm not. I really am not. But
I think you're on that hopium. But I love you, bro. I love you.
Well, see, like I don't. I question that. I do. And so I just haven't had the time to actually like look into what the people who've been championing these ideas for a long time, frankly, have said on these subjects, and if there's cogent thought surrounding, you know, the objections. I'm not there yet, but there has been a lot of cogent arguments, at least in the in the surrounding of, you know, there's certain things like the military, borders, etc., upon which there's plenty of questions, but there's lots of other really good arguments too, you know.
Sure. Listen, I'm with you. I think the best system that possibly could have been set up is what God wanted in the promised land. He wanted judges to judge over a people that answer to God. The problem, though, is we live in a sinful, fallen state, and people are sinful and fallen. And no matter what system we set up, it's going to fail. It will. America's going to fail. You know, I don't want to give you guys hope. If you think that America's going to last, you know, forever. It's not going to happen. It's not. Rome didn't last forever.
Not if we take not if we actually mean what we say about learning from history. You know?
But
and it's sad.
History. Nobody learns from it.
Yeah, I know.
It's sad.
I know.
Nobody learns from history.
But like, I mean, we can. Well, we can be different. We can. It is possible to be different.
Well, you see it right now. Like compare the state of Florida to everywhere else in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. It's a totally different world. Like, I went to Ohio, good old Ohio, like, last week, Indiana. People are still wearing masks. And I'm like, y'all are, like, in the middle of nowhere. Y'all should be smarter than this crap. But you're still wearing masks. Like, why? Why are you wearing masks?
Why is Jeb riding his tractor in the middle of his cornfield wearing a mask?
Yeah. I mean, and it's not everywhere. I mean, I went to my brother's church. Nobody's wearing a mask, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Praise God. But, like, it's like, dude, like, for real? I've got waitresses still coming to my table with a mask on. I'm like,
well, even in Florida, we still have that.
Yeah, which is stupid. But that's corporate. That's corporations.
Exactly.
That's corporate entities that are not from this state dictating what's going on with these
Meanwhile, you go to a local
Yes.
locally owned restaurant, ain't nobody.
Nope.
Like
Ain't nobody doing that.
down the street we got Mutts on 13th. They haven't been wearing a mask in forever.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow. Leftists are dum-dums.
Our dum-dums. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, just from the name, we know you belong in the Rube Empire. Welcome, citizen.
Welcome, citizen. But no, I mean, that's my thing. I mean, I just think that at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to see massive revival. I don't think revival comes in massive waves of an entire country switching over. It's not. I think it goes back to the kind of the microcosm that's happening in the church right now. In the Protestant church and the actual following, Bible believing church, people are going smaller. They're not going bigger. They're going smaller. They're saying, screw this big crap. We want to go small and get real. Same thing's happening with like state of Florida. We're like, you know what?
Decentralized.
Do you, California? Yeah.
Decentralization is the answer.
Yeah. 100%.
But that's what anarchism is. It's decentralization.
It is, but what you never account for is the big nasty. That's the thing. Is like in a utopian world.
I listen. Yes, you're right. There are big nasties out there, but the government is one of those big nasties, and we excuse it all the time. So then get rid of one of the big nasties, and then deal with the others later.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But what I can say is this: what I do enjoy. Here's the thing. I think the good news from this week is this: Rittenhouse is probably going to get acquitted, which is good because we're out of time anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's amazing that OSHA's backed down. I don't think it's amazing. It was kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got people like DeSantis saying "screw you." Did you see the Democrats are not putting up a candidate against Ron DeSantis? They're not funding anybody on the Democratic side this year. Look it up. It's hilarious. They're not financially backing anybody. So if somebody runs against him on the Democratic side, they're going to have to get their own money.
Wow.
Which,
I mean, what's funny is that's freaking great news.
But what's funny is that works the other way too, because here in Orange County, Orlando, the Republicans never financially back the Republican candidates. They just let the Democrats win, which is hilarious. But it is what it is. But that's how Florida is. It's like they gonna win or not? We ain't spending money on it. So
well, I mean, we're like that with sports too.
True. But his approval rating is so ridiculous. I want to find somebody that doesn't like Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida.
Oh, I can find you some people.
Find them for me. Are they purple haired?
No, but they're raising their child. Probably they're raising their children. They're raising their kid to be, they're raising their kid in a not gender specific way. Let's put it.
So they're not really Floridians. But I hate to be that guy, but that's not even remotely the norm here.
No, you're absolutely right.
Because I think what Florida has more. No, I think in the country there's more registered Republicans in the country now than there. Was that Florida or the whole country?
I think it's the whole country. I think that was a big turn. Like that was kind of a big deal because it hadn't been like that in decades. Which is so
because that's the thing. I don't think people realize. It's funny because the media.
Weird. No, what this tells us is that the hold that the corporate media has had on the thoughts and minds of the people of America is breaking.
It's gone.
And it's their own damn fault for it.
Yeah.
They got too freaking greedy. They could have kept playing it slow and and most of us would have been sheeple following it along. Yep. And there's still a fair number that are. And frankly, I feel sad for them.
Yep.
Because they have no clue the hurt that is coming. I mean, it's still just because we're awake doesn't mean it's not coming.
Oh, it's
It's coming, but at least we can prepare for it. Prepare, people. Be a boon to your community, to your family. Be a bastion that people can hide behind. I mean, I'm trying to make that happen as best I can. You know, we need to. That's what we need to do.
Yeah. So, a couple things I do want to comment before we bounce off here. I'll comment on two of the comments of our new guys. Leftists are dum-dums. True dat. God made many nations because he knew one world would be corrupt. 100%. That's exactly why the Tower of Babel happens. He establishes 70 kingdoms, 70 nations. Mm-hmm. So God is in control. And that, it's funny, is he decentralized Nimrod's power. Weird.
Also, check Nimrod was a giant. So,
wait a minute. Are you talking about like a big person?
I'm talking about a gigantic person.
But the Smithsonian says no one was big.
No.
Evolution.
Yeah, wrong. Just go to other countries that don't have the Smithsonian and you can see giant skeletons on display. But yeah, and also what I mean by he was a giant was that he was a hybrid human who was half, or at least some measure, angel.
Yeah, but my pastor doesn't talk about that.
Yeah,
he doesn't preach about that.
Yeah,
Sunday,
well, he should.
So.
He should be. He should be.
Yeah, I think that was a very truthful statement. Mr. Leftists are dum-dums. Harry B said a good one. As long as the borders are wide open, they have lots of Democrat voters. I agree. Here's the thing that's beautiful, though. DeSantis also is going to be shipping any illegals to Delaware. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Delaware? You mean Biden's home state?
Yeah, Biden's home state.
Interesting.
Which is funny because, and the reason why he did that is because they are secretly in the middle of the night dumping people in Florida. DeSantis is like, that's not happening. We're rounding you up and we're going to take you to Delaware. So try that again and it's going to get ugly. Just like he did to OSHA and said, hey, by the way, OSHA, you try that, we're just going to break up with you. You know what I mean? It's amazing what happens when you threaten to break up. So, which is great. Lots of skeletons in Antarctica. I don't disagree. So here's the thing. Love you guys. It's been an amazing show. Vote with your feet. That's like anything in life, man. It's amazing what happens when you walk away or threaten to walk away. Things change real fast.
I know that you got jobs where you're at, and you got this and you got that, but I personally consider freedom one of my primary values.
But what about my comfort? I need comfort.
I mean, I bro, I understand that. But I mean, there's a reason why we're doing this podcast.
True.
And if you're in a place where you're under the thumb of tyranny, whatever comfort you have is garbage. Get out of there. Go to a free state and enjoy real comfort, the comfort of freedom. Amen. And even then, stay vigilant because it can easily be taken away.
100%. 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a phenomenal show. Matt, you're just as sexy as usual, and I appreciate doing the show with you every single day. And sorry I didn't say hi to you at church today. Listen, we were just strangers passing the wind. I still love you.
I didn't even see you.
Huh?
I didn't see you.
Well, with my bright yellow orange or bright orange shirt, I don't know how you missed me, but no, I was pretty far away when I saw you. So I was already in the car picking up the girls when you were coming out. But anyways, I love you guys. It's been an amazing show. I've got a powerlifting meet this week, so hopefully I don't break in half. That's going to be fun, and I don't die.
It's gonna blow them away.
I mean, I'm gonna do okay. We'll see what's going on, man. I'm just trying to, whatever. So, but I'm excited. I'm pumped up, and then me and my family are going to the Florida Keys. So, any of you Roopsters, if you're out there in the Florida Keys before Thanksgiving, come hit me up. We want some fun. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna feed some tarpons. I'm excited about that, man.
Nice.
Then we're gonna do a turtle hospital. So I'm
Oh, that's
excited
cool.
about that as well. So.
That's cool.
But yeah, man, getting pumped up. It's gonna be a fun trip, and yeah, I'm doing a little me, baby. It's gonna be fun. So I'm pumped up. But anyways, love you guys.
Yes.
Most important thing is for you to know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That is the most important thing. That's going to be more ramifications in your existence in your eternity than anything that happens with good old Brandon. So we love you guys. We hope you guys have a good time. Hopefully you appreciate the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and share us, man. Share. Sharing's caring.
It is.
Okay.
It really is.
Listen, I know Sesame Street's been letting us down with Big Bird talking about shots and vaccinations and stuff.
I
Just
I took that the image of the president responding to Big Bird talking about his vaccine. And it was like, it's always great to see two puppets having a conversation about vaccines.
When Muppets meet Muppets.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Love you. It's been a good ride, King. I appreciate you.
Yes. On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out.
Bye.
Say, look, hey, free Masana for your honor. Left on box and them chains. What was my dog, man? Why that bullet had got lodged in his brain? My mind is insane. A memory card is locked in the game. These optical frames spot ops and leave a block full of pain. Did the impossible, cross the tightrope while dodging the rain. I put extensions in my Glock, no, I am not finna aim. Swear I got robbed and joined the army, so my spot could remain. One lost his life in North Carolina, hope he not as I say. Drinking sorrow away on my alky still. For the soldiers we lost on the battlefield. Why am I hurting myself as I bury on belching out death when I'd rather heal? And most of these rappers ain't that for real. They mentioning that shit, they got for real. Talking fly when we push that in vacuum seal. Some of my homies not pushing up that deal. Now it's Ninja putting music to dream hours. We been up grinding up teen hours. They ain't believing that team power, then we had to run up 14,000. I thank you all for supporting us. This right here for the voice of the warrior. Victory is a beautiful woman. We went through the rain while in love with Victoria.
Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether